Folks, I almost forgot to unmute myself there, and that would have been a wonderful start to 2020. As always, we're here to audit your channels. Let's do this.
VidIQ.
VidIQ.
VidIQ.com.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good Wednesday for some of you. Welcome to the VidIQ channel audit live stream that we do every single week, and it's pretty simple. You submit your channels, we audit them for free, and hopefully you take away some value and some feedback to improve your channels. My name is Rob, and here at VidIQ, we educate you on your YouTube journey through the wonderful tools that we have at your disposal, as well as the YouTube channel that you see here, where we give you tips, tricks, and advice, and all of the audits that we can possibly offer you, and a little bit more that we're going to talk about in a few moments' time. But as always, I could not do this without the help of a wonderful guest. Travis is being a geek this week, and he has gone to CES to look at flat screen TVs and mobile phones that will never see the light of day. Leron is also there as well. So in the meantime, we've got the brand new VidIQ star here, who, if you didn't see yesterday, was helping you all with video gaming content, and we're looking forward to seeing a lot more of that throughout the year. Dan, say hello to the VidIQ community for the first time in 2020.
Hello. How's it going?
Very succinct hello there from Dan. Yeah. I think he's saving his vocal cords for the hours of channel audits that we're going to be doing. But Dan, I will let you go first this week to say hello to our community before it goes bonkers. And then I try my best with the channel names. Who are we saying hello to this morning?
I mean, to be fair, you didn't give me any clearance to say anything but hello. Yeah, I didn't know. We have Ghost Band, L Taken, Spartan Joystick, Dole Whip Dad, Mista Gaming, let's see, Sizzles, Omario, Nameless Leaf, Ninja D, gone, sorry, never mind, Ninja something, Web TV, Planet-Based, gone, dang it.
I think we've got a top tip here, Dan, and this has nothing to do with growing your YouTube channel, but if you want to get a shout out on a channel live stream, make your username no more than 2 syllables, because if it's anything beyond that, we haven't got a chance. If you want to get shout outs, then by all means shrink down that channel name. I'll give it a go. XXX Juice Temptation, I said that wrong. Magdalena, hello as well to all our moderators who are in here doing all of their fantastic, awesome work as usual. iTip Turtles, Johanna Abroad, Mr. Lukey Clark, Movie Central is here, Velo City, Brendan Walters, we've also got True Biscuits there, I think. Diana 45251, that is a classic username which is really difficult to read out. And we don't know what it means as a YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm not picking on you, but just as we're randomly reading that channel names. Bregon, I may have pronounced that wrong. Mikey C613. I've got a question. Why do people include random numbers in their usernames? That always really, it doesn't fascinate me, it just confuses me. I'm sorry, I'm not in a really bad mood or anything, I'm just being really critical for some reason to start off the live stream. Jono Plays is also in the house, Ashan J Gaming, Dave PH, Prodigy Ray, XX V Next, XXX, I think that was, Poised.
That was one name?
Plays, there's far too many X's in that username. Ghost Band, and finally, the best username we have on YouTube, and will remain the best username, it's Generic Waffle. Welcome to all of you who are joining the VidIQ live stream channel audit this morning, or wherever you are in the world. Here's how things work on this channel audit. You submit your channels, whether they are big, small, gaming channel, tech channel, whatever it is. We welcome you into the VidIQ family, and we will audit your channel. To begin with, we pre-select some of the channels that we want to look at, because we want to get a nice broad scope of channels such as beauty, vlogging, tech, that type of thing. And then when we go into a random section of all of this, it tends to be a little more gaming centric, because we just have so many gaming channels that submit every single week. I'm going to press a button on screen now which will show you exactly what goes on. There's a link in the video description. If you haven't already filled it out, go fill it out now, and you may have a chance of being randomly selected later on in the show. Also, please do not ask for a review in the channel. You will not get one. Are you okay there, Dan?
Real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
The music, I just turned it on. It's very loud, and
was the volume
people are having
really
trouble
loud?
hearing you.
Okay, so I apologize for that. I'm going to have to alter that in Stream Deck again. For some reason, whenever Stream Deck updates itself, it puts the volumes back to default, which means that everything goes loud again. So apologies if nobody heard anybody's shout-outs there. That's just how vidIQ works. Every single week something goes wrong. So yeah, link in the description. If you want a channel audited, make sure to go in there and fill it out, and you may have your channel audited. Do not ask for a review in the chat, because you simply won't get one. Dan and I are not looking at the live chat all of the time. We don't simply have a time because we're so focused on channels themselves. Super chats, the financial contribution to the channel, while very welcome, does not guarantee you a channel audit, because we don't want to create a financial barrier to everything that we do here. If you submit your channel, expect constructive criticism. We want you to grow your channel, and that means reaching out to a wide audience. If you're just making videos that for your own creative indulgence, that's absolutely fine, but we assume when you submit your channel that you want to try and build an audience, and we will try and guide you towards that state of mind. If you do not get your channel audited this week, then if I press this button, we have this fantastic tool down the left hand side here, which when I click on it, gives you a full 24/7 channel audit for your channel. Breaks down everything that's really working for your channel, where you're getting all of your traffic from in terms of searches, and how your interactive stuff is doing, what isn't working well on your channel, and also where you could potentially improve your videos by adding end screens and that type of thing. This is one of the many tools that we have here at vidIQ, and many aspects of this tool are free. So if you haven't already downloaded vidIQ, there is a link in the video description to get more information there. Also, while we are on this screen, we are delighted to announce that we have launched the VidIQ Academy. So we give you lots of tips, tricks and advice on the channel, but they tend to be shorter videos of around 5 to 10 minutes. At the Academy, we go into full detail. We've got hours-long training sessions on how to make better thumbnails, monetize your content, keyword research, and the monumental 30-day guide to starting your YouTube channel in 2020, which is actually 32 videos, hours of content there. This is available to all vidIQ Boost and Pro users, and we're currently having a 30% off launch celebration. There is a link in the description again to get to this page, check out everything that it's about. So yeah, if you want to really get to the next level of growing your YouTube channel, make sure to join vidIQ, and you get the Academy as part of all of that. Back to our checklist. Our opinions are based off of first impressions. So if Dad and I can't work out what your channel is about in 30 seconds to a minute, then you're probably going to suffer the same fate from your audience, who will very quickly move on to what they can work out on YouTube and what the content is about. And finally, Dan and I will give you many suggestions, and you will get many suggestions from other YouTube growth channels on the platform. By all means, learn all that you can, test what is available, but make sure that you are on your own path, and you need to test. Some things may work for you, some others, and don't be afraid to break the rules once you understand how some of YouTube is working, because most of the time channels work because they are disrupting what's already on YouTube. You've got to provide something unique on your channel, or something that's better than anyone else, and hopefully we're going to see some of those channels today. I hope now everybody can hear everything that I'm saying without any music. So with all of that being said, it now comes to me to press some buttons on the screen to make sure that, first of all, Dan can see what's going on. I'm going to assume
a screen
means yes, you can see my screen. And now I'm going to press a button here, which means that we are moving into the, well, it's not quick. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. This isn't quickfire audit round. Sorry about that. Let me press the right button, which means that we are doing channel audits. And the first channel we are going to audit, if I can find the right one, it is going to be this one that Dan pre-selected, because I've just done a lot of talking. So Dan, we are looking at Tony's Refinishing, 13,000 subscribers. What do you have to note from this channel that we have here?
I picked this channel because I really I really like picking channels that I can just point to and say, "Hey, you know how we say a lot of things and stuff? Well,
Yeah.
this person's like doing a lot of things right."
Okay.
Off the bat, it's hard to look at this channel and say like, "Oh gosh, okay, cracks knuckles." Um, so with that out of the way, the one thing I noticed right off the bat, and you probably see it too, is that every single thumbnail has 4K Ultra HD
Oh yeah.
in it. And I don't the views on this channel are really good in my opinion compared to the amount of subscribers, really healthy views. I have to wonder if this person decided at some point to try the 4K badge and it paid off.
Yeah, interesting experiment there. Because my first thought would be viewers don't really need to know whether it's a 4K piece of content unless they're specifically searching for it to share it or like put it as a background on their television. But yeah, as you say, if this label is working for the channel, include them. They've now have it on most of them. Not like it's missing off that one.
Yeah,
and maybe that one, and it looks as if they started putting on the 4K logo here.
Yeah, about a year ago.
And beforehand, yeah.
It also looks like the thumbnail testing went from showing the entire car to just a panel and really making the paint gun. I'm sure there's more technical name for that. Kind of the hero of the shot.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So basically, excuse me. Basically for this channel, I appreciated how niche the topic is, and their channel trailer too, which was the first thing I saw, just immediately sets the stage for the whole channel. Thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let that play in the background then as we carry on talking about it. Yeah.
Very professionally done, and you know exactly what you're getting. It is a painting channel revolving around cars. And to me, this was I don't have the power to give a channel the confetti of success, but I was going to ask if you thought that this was one that was deserving of that.
So here's what I think. We talk about niches a lot, and I think a lot of video creators, when they start out on YouTube and for a long time, will say that their niche is cars or fast cars or something along that line. But this channel really knows what their specific niche is, which is finish or like paint jobs or making a car look better for the consumer. And that's all they do. They don't deviate onto, it looks like engines or wheels or anything other than just the finishing aspect of a car. And that means that because their target audience is really niche, they've managed to build up this nice community. I mean, we have 13,000 subscribers, but the view counts are really healthy, like 14,000 here, 5,000 there. I mean, there's a few that dip here and there, so you might want to just maybe go into the titling structure, look at the thumbnail, see if there are any particular thumbnails that are really working for the channel. However, there are a couple of suggestions I would make here, and they're going to be typical ones about text on thumbnails. I really feel as if the text is taken away from what the hero of the content is here, especially like this Bentley GT clear coat stage, etc, etc, etc. Do I need to try and read all of this on a thumbnail? Perhaps not. I would want to see the car at its most beautiful rather than trying to read all of this text. Another thing is, do you want to include the website on thumbnails? There may be a reason for this, because it might be that you are posting these thumbnails on an external website, so there's much more reason to have maybe a website address posted on there. And it may be that you get a lot of views externally, because I'm just looking at the engagement and it seems to be generally okay. You're getting what I would expect, likes to dislikes versus the view counts. But I would test, certainly for the video creator, I would test trying to get rid of as much text as possible and really focusing on the beauty of the car. Because if we just look at this set of thumbnails, it is a channel about car finishing and painting, but when I look at the thumbnails, I can't really pick out one beautiful looking car in any of these thumbnails, because it's just text, text, text. Now, Again, this might be testing. You may have tested that it works when you have a clearer text on your thumbnails, because we can see as we scroll down here, you went through a really radical change in the way your thumbnails look. And before you didn't use much text. But it would look to me that you were getting slightly more views. Having said that, this was 2 or 3 years ago when you were posting these videos, so a lot has changed on YouTube. But yeah, I think there's some real value. I think that the pictures look really good, but they're just masked by this text. So I think that's where you would certainly want to experiment with your thumbnails. But generally speaking, I think this channel's doing really well in a really small niche, doing very well. And I guess because it's a part of a business, you're able to sell your products and services through here. So I would suspect that this channel is making a lot more money than another typically sized channel that was just trying to make their way through YouTube on AdSense. And my guess is that even if you are monetizing your content, it's a tiny fraction of the custom that you're bringing in through this YouTube channel. So yes, Dan, I do think this channel gets the confetti of success, and with a few tweaks, you could hopefully just take the channel a little bit further forward. I mean, maybe if there's any trending car topics going on, like you're going to do a paint job on something that's just been released or something that's big in the news, that might help you. But again, that might be really difficult depending on the cars that you get in to work on for the channel. That is Tony's Refinishing channel there, so congratulations to you, and we'll move on to the next one in the list, which is Random Cat Animates. I chose this channel because it is the first channel that's submitted for audit this week. So I always try and audit the first channel. And you have 160 subscribers, so you're generally new to this YouTube game, and you've been going for a couple of months, so already over 100 subscribers. Fantastic progress. For an animation channel, the amount of content you have out is pretty incredible as well, so I think there's lots to give you thumbs up for there. And when I look at the view counts, they seem generally healthy for the size of your channel, which is really good. The video lengths tend to be a little short, so I'm wondering, long term, is YouTube going to be the right platform for you? I hope that you're also sharing this content on your other social media platforms, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I think there's avenues of opportunity there as well. And thumbnails, I think the thumbnails could do with a little bit of work. Just as I look at each thumbnail without trying to look at the text, I think certainly in animation there needs to be some sort of action or storytelling tease, and I'm not seeing that too much in the thumbnails just yet. So I think experimenting with better thumbnails would help you. It feels a little bit as if a lot of them are just freeze frames from the animation itself. And I guess when you look at a movie trailer poster, it's not just a cutscene, it's not just a scene from the movie, it's usually something that's specifically done as a poster. So maybe think about that a little bit. And of course, you don't have a channel banner yet, so maybe that's something to just tweak a little bit as well. Anything you're noticing here, Dan, or do you think I've pretty much covered this channel as it is?
Yeah, I think you definitely got it. I'm seeing a handful of videos tailored to the community specifically, like contest winners, for example.
Yeah.
That's obviously
good that you're already recognizing the community at such an early age on the channel.
Yeah. So, and that's something I've noticed for animation channels, especially like, you know, you're hand drawing things. So you're trying to put out a lot of content, but it takes a lot of time to animate something. So I've always thought that was a good way to do it. Kind of balance between engaging with your community on some days and then go back to like a big animated piece once it's the next one's finished. So
yeah,
I'd say that's a pretty good strategy. The thumbnails are kind of all over the place in terms of what's going on.
There's some good ones. Like I really like that thumbnail. There's some nice color there and some certainly some characters. Whereas this one, where it's only covering 20% of the screen, and it looks like an upside down head, but beyond that, I'm not sure what I'm gleaning from that. So this is a typical problem for creators to begin with. They spend so much time, energy, and resources on their videos, they don't remember that you've got to convince a viewer to click on your video to watch it and see all of this fantastic stuff. So yeah, a bit more work on thumbnails for consistency. I also noticed that there was one video here that did really well for the channel, like 400 views, and it looks like it's giving away free stuff from you, which may be another avenue of tutorials and providing providing content and things that viewers can use off of YouTube. So I think that's good. Maybe you want to have a little bit of a series there. But yeah, for an animation channel, the fact that you're cranking out content every day, I would say here, is really good. You may want to stagger your content a little bit here. Like there were 3 videos from 3 days ago. If you are going to do a lot of content, then maybe just make sure that it's once a day rather than having breaks, if that's what you want to do. But I think, Dan, for a channel that's really quite new to YouTube, 2 months old, 150 subscribers, I'm guessing they've probably got over 1,000 views, which is brilliant. And yeah, shout out to VidIQ for a copper. You're more than welcome. Thank you for giving us a shout out in the channel about section. We really do appreciate that. And just good luck with the rest of your content as you move forward. Let's move on to let's not move on. 1 second. I forgot to do something right at the start of this show. So we're also going to audit some channels from Twitter. And the way you do that is by, can you see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen now, there is hashtag channel audits. Make sure you type out that exactly in the tweet, because I have a screen that's currently looking at the hashtag channel audits search on Twitter. What I want you to do is share this live stream. First of all, so that's the first thing you need to do. Share this live stream, but in the same tweet, share your channel URL. That is so crucial, and so many people get it nearly right every single week, and we're going to randomly select some channels from Twitter as well. So just to confirm, include hashtag channel audits. Share this live stream link and share your channel URL link so that we can pick it in around about 10 to 15 minutes. With that being said, let's move on to the next channel, which I think is another one Dan selected, and it is Elaborate Designs by Leisha. I hope I pronounced that surname right. What are we looking at here, Dan?
Well, this is Elaborate Designs. They are a lifestyle channel, family fun, tablescapes, DIYs, inspirations, and more.
Going on there.
And more.
And more, even more. Whoa. What can I get? Madden 20 gaming here as well.
So, one of the things that has been said on this particular channel, not Elaborate Designs, but on this channel multiple times, is if you have that many things your channel's about, it's probably time to narrow it down a little bit. And when I saw the name Elaborate Designs in the submission sheet, I thought, oh, so they're making something.
Yeah,
and
I thought crafting of some kind to begin
exactly.
with. Yeah.
And it became clear after kind of looking things over that this is a channel that may be closer to a vlog channel. Yeah. And then I saw the banner, oh, a lifestyle, gotcha. Okay. So one of the things I want to say about the thumbnails is that thumbnails are, by nature very small, and it's probably just an artistic choice, but it's not only is your text just very, very hard to read because it's very tiny, but there's a lot of negative space in the thumbnails, and I would definitely fill that frame with whatever the video's about, in every single video. Even if your video's about multiple things, pick your main subject and make that front and center. Take up the entire screen because, like I said, thumbnails are very, very small. Yeah,
let's take this one as an example then. It's a video about decorating their fireplace at Christmas. What we as a viewer would want to see is some really bright, vibrant, punchy image of the fireplace blown up full size on the thumbnail. And all of this text, just leave it in the title. I don't think it needs to be, or there's just one word, and it might be Xmas fireplace. That might be a way to condense all of that down. There's even some text down here, Dan, which with my magnifying glass, I can't even read it. So I think that is a good example of when there's too much reliance on text. And I think this one down here, again, I think this is a better example of a better thumbnail, but again, get rid of all of this text on the right hand side and blow up the image so we can see a nice colourful baubles, and I think it's hand soap on that one. So yeah, good spots there. Anything else?
That was the biggest thing, because I think that just kind of distracted me from, the majority of, what I was looking at. Yeah, I think you're a vlogging channel. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But in terms of just getting seen, picking a clear topic and kind of sticking to it for a bit will probably help. And yeah, really make good use of those thumbnails, because if it's hard to see with a magnifying glass on a desktop computer, imagine what the mobile user is going through.
What some good things I will say. The channel's creeping up to 300 subscribers, so that's it's starting to build some momentum. And when I look at the view counts, we're talking about small sample sizes, but they can still be significant. You have a couple of videos that have like 20 views, 35 views, and another videos that have double that, like 75 views here, and one here with nearly 100 views. So I think there's definitely patterns starting to emerge about the type of content that your audience is gravitating towards a little bit. And that might tell you that, hey, it's actually the cosmetics that are working better on the channel, or the crafting stuff, or when I'm cooking food. So just try and pick those out a little bit, and then maybe... because it's a vlogging channel, I don't want to say you must do nothing but content on cooking, but I think just having a realization that your audience prefers those videos is going to help you. And yeah, when I looked at the thumbnails, they kind of looked, I sometimes use this phrase as Microsoft PowerPoint type of thumbnails, where it seems where you've just dropped in an image and a text and a clear background. I will say that in some ways the thumbnails are going in the right direction because they're relatively simple. You're not trying to overcomplicate things, but the text is a real issue in terms of people don't want to try and read a plot summary on a thumbnail, and that's what you're trying to force the potential creators to do. And I guess my final thought is just in terms of the way you're targeting your channel. When you say elaborate designs of what and why should I watch your channel? It may mean that your channel needs a bit of rebranding, and it might be that your channel is Leisha's, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong.
There's an I in the banner there. Is it Aisha?
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. Is it? So this is me being really stupid again. You know when we had the LOL moment last week? Yeah, Aisha. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting it completely wrong. But elaborate designs by Aisha. Does that need to be renamed a little bit? And going to the about section, do we get any more information about where there's an elaborate type of designs? And I'm not getting a strong enough vibe there. Now then, you've got 14,000 views. I'm just going to quickly check to see if there's a particular video or videos that are showing us why you would get more views for a particular thing. There seems to be family fun was a title strategy that has been working for your content. And when you do celebrations and birthdays, those seem to be the more popular videos. So it may be just going forward that you have content that says, hey, if you're celebrating your birthday at this time of year, or with a child of this age, or a child who likes this type of thing, you may want to just try to bring those concepts into your content a little bit. With all that being said, though, coming up to 300 subscribers, congratulations, Aisha, on the success of your channel so far, and hopefully with these tweaks, you can continue to have success. And I can see the passion in your content as well, that you're creating content on a very regular basis, and that's always good to see for you and your audience. We'll move on now to Nathaniel Callan. This channel has just 22 subscribers, but when you look at the channel banner and you look at the thumbnails, you already get that impression that this channel is operating at a more advanced level, maybe a few hundred subscribers or thousands of subscribers, because they already have a specific niche, which is going to be personal finance. I would question a little bit military life. I think for most people, that's going to be a little confusing, unless you're going to really merge the two concepts and say it would be personal finance as a military, as somebody in the army. I think that would be a more connected value proposition. And when I look at the general content, it all seems to be all about finance, earning money, saving money, credit cards, and I don't see any general reference to your military life. So I don't know if that's something that you're maybe going to try and introduce in the future. I would say stick to one thing or the other. to begin with on your channel, and maybe when you build up an audience and they're more invested in you, you can start to bring in this your life, so to speak, your military life, if that's what you're keen to do. Thumbnail wise, I think they're very good. Like in terms of branding, we've certainly got an orange theme going through there, and this is one of those examples where there is text in there, but I think in some thumbnails it's used pretty effectively. And I think importantly, most of the time it doesn't just repeat the titles. Like this one here, I'm not going to say that word obviously, but your control your reactions and mindsets, positivity mindset. I think that's a good. It's complementing the title rather than just repeating it. And this one here, like a big headline statement that you lost $5,000, that is something in a thumbnail that's really going to catch somebody's eye as they're scrolling through the content. So yes, it does give a little bit of shock value, and the question of whether it's clickbait will come into question. But as long as you deliver that sentiment in the thumbnail, in the content, then it isn't clickbait in my opinion. So yeah, I think for a channel that's so small and it's been operating for 2 months, because it looks as if you took a break from YouTube and then started really focusing down on this finance and having these thumbnails, I think it gets like the confetti of joy here. I'm going to say one more thing, Dan, but is there anything else you've noticed in this channel that you'd like to point out?
I just feel like this person studied YouTube quite a bit before.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm very impressed because this is definitely a great use of text and thumbnails. I love that Mustang one. I can't stop looking at it. I got free Ford stock. The text and the image are just working really well together. So yeah, overall, I guess like I'm just curious. I know it's only been 2 months, but these videos are things that I could see myself searching for when it comes to just learning about personal finance. I wonder what could be done to just kind of get those view counts up, and I'm guessing it's just going to take time on the platform in general. But
I'd say it looks as if every single video has more views than subscribers on the channel. So
right,
that's good in one sense.
I'm not trying to be mean.
The videos are reaching a wider audience. Probably, maybe potentially better calls to action, because you want to increase those subscribers if you potentially can. And I think at the moment it's creators just testing the financial waters, because on one video you're talking about tax-free fuel in the UK. On another one it's EasyJet versus Ryanair, and then on another one it's really strange thumbnail and title, that one, but on that one it's like where you've lost $5,000 on stocks. So we've got like fuel, we've got air travel, and we've got stocks. So very different areas of finance. I think right now I would just continue to recommend making more content to gain experience on YouTube. And after 50 to 100 videos, you may start to realize where your audience finds the most value from your content. And I know in a couple of weeks ago, we were auditing a channel that was exclusively looking at credit cards. So they knew where their niche was, and they continue to do that. So I think you might start to find out that when you give advice on maybe saving money potentially on specific things in the UK might be where your strength is. Or it might be, I'm saying that because it's got the most views. And then you did one here actually where you did link your military background to the getting the best credit card. So that's something that's interesting as well. But I'm just not seeing that theme strong enough in the rest of your content. So I don't know if that's going to be something that you want to do in the future. You might do, because it becomes really niche. And if you can become the authority on helping military personnel to save money or earn more money, then that's fantastic. But does that really link into buying stocks for things? I'm not so sure. I think that's going to take a bit of time, but I would just continue to do what you're doing now. And I think this is another channel that gets the confetti of joy and success for just where you are in such a short space of time on YouTube. So, Nathaniel, do keep it up. Congratulations on where you are so far. Dan, shall we do a Twitter channel now?
Why not?
All right, let's go on to Twitter. I'm going to refresh the screen, and now hopefully lots of people have submitted their channels for audits. Yeah, look at these. 2 minutes, 10 minutes ago. Ghost Band, just be careful. Don't submit 3 times, because that isn't kind of what we want to do here. We want to give everyone an equal opportunity. Oh, now that's just fun. I see. Maybe we should just choose it by which are the most entertaining and fun ones.
I can't explain it, but I feel compelled.
Yeah. Audits we shall give. This is a classic example of when we're just scrolling through a Twitter feed, and that's made me stop and look at it. And that's how you have to look at thumbnails as well. And so, you know what? I think we should audit this channel, Dan. I know I'm breaking the rules here, but what the hey? Let's audit this channel because they did a really good tweet. And it's True Biscuits with 20,000 subscribers. Congratulations on the success of your channel already. I guess that kind of shows us that you already have a bit of nous and intelligence on how to use social media platforms with Twitter, getting our attention, and then in the channel that you got 20,000 subscribers with.
Nice.
I'm just scrolling through very quickly. There's obviously some sort of game going on here. Brains.io. Have you played this, Dan? Or have we
No, I have not. I've seen it pop up a couple times. I've just never bothered to learn anything about it.
But this channel seems to be niching down on this particular game. Predominantly, they are experimenting here and there, but I'm seeing Brains.io every time. And something that's really interesting here, and I've sometimes recommended this in the past, is that once you've nailed down a particular metadata strategy, you should try and keep a lot of the elements as similar as possible. And so they start every single title with the name of the game. And that may seem relatively simplistic, but it's working for this channel, and they're getting a healthy number of views for every video that they do. Now, in terms of what's going on in each of these, I think I may be losing something in the translation of the game itself, because they seem a little bit busy, but there's some big characters on screen here and there, like these big eyes, and something always staring up at the screen, which is interesting. I don't know if that's... I don't know if this is like a trademark of a channel where you just put in these slightly crazy eyes in some of the videos, but it seems to generally work for catching my attention. Are you picking up anything in particular, Dan, just as I'm scrolling through the thumbnails and stuff?
You can definitely tell an evolution as you're scrolling down, too. I think this channel has kind of found its place, honestly. It's going really well, it would seem. When I will say, as someone who's played a lot of different games, when you play a game where it's relatively like zoomed out, it's like a top-down game, and the characters are just inherently small, and there's nothing you can do about it. Making a thumbnail for that is kind of crazy because it's tempting to just take a screenshot, but now it's like there's just all this stuff going on. You've zoomed in as much as you can. So the fact that they're taking time to take characters and perhaps even draw them to a bigger size so you can see something in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I've seen this in particularly
awesome.
Agar.io videos where they try and just make something extreme and like multiples of something that just fill the screen, which tend to work really well. But yeah, I think the channel has experimented with a lot of games. Like here we have one here, Brains.io, 35,000 views. Awesome. Then the next 4 or 5 games are on something completely different, and the audience hasn't reacted well to it. And I've learned over the last month or so that, yeah, this game here is pretty much my niche, and I'm going to do that most of the time, but experiment here and well. I think that's a brilliant way and a brilliant strategy to be going forward. And I would just say, continue to play on this game. Continue to find and Dan said this in his video yesterday. Look at the new releases, the new patches, the new mods. Make sure that you're becoming an integral part of the community, and just keep it up. But yeah, and I think in particular the thumbnails in the last couple are really starting to have a nice edge to them in terms of like blowing up the character size, maybe having a bit of text here and there. There's something going on in the top left-hand corner of a lot of these videos that I can't work out. I don't know if that's the name of the game or your logo. That's not working right now, so I think you need to change that a little bit. But generally speaking, well, this is the third confetti of joy that we've given already to a channel. But yeah, just well done. Keep it up. I'm loving the stuff that you're doing. Any final thoughts on this one, Dan? I'm just going to sort by most popular, but any final thoughts on this one?
No, I was going to say, yeah, just keep at it. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
over 500,000 views.
When I just look at this row of video, there's something about the thumbnails which is much better. And there's this like circling effect and this arrow effect that I think is just helping a little bit with some of these videos. And that's an example here where you have a small item, but if you copy and paste it and then maybe put it against a big item, that has a really powerful impact as well. So yeah, crushing it. And this was 3 years ago as well. So this channel knew what their niche was a long time ago, but then they just broke away from it and now they're returning to it. Interesting. Yeah. I guess interesting evolution, then regression, and then understanding of YouTube. Is that where the channel currently is? I guess now knowing this, the channel maybe thought, I'm tired of doing this game over and over again, which is completely understandable. But the audience wants you to do more of it. And so if you want to continue to have a good audience on YouTube, you're going to have to do that. But now they seem to have fallen into this nice little strategy of four out of every 5 videos is on this brains.io game, and then we'll just drop something in elsewhere and see if that is successful. Like this one did well here, the evowars.io. So I would maybe want to see another video about that soon as well, if you want to try and break away into new content. Some really interesting stuff there from a gaming channel. Often we're saying the same things over and over again, but this is something a little bit different, and we always love to see that. We will choose another Twitter shared channel later on, but now we'll move back to the pre-selected ones that have been sent in, and this one is Incredibly Average Joe. I've already mentioned Madden 20 earlier. I think this is actually a channel dedicated to Madden 20. Dan, you chose this one. What are your thoughts on this channel?
Well, I kind of a few things. For one, the channel is getting close to 500 subscribers, so that's awesome. The game has been chosen, which is also awesome. And what's cool for Madden is they release a new version every year. Yep. So you can kind of keep up with that. And they also, Madden has kind of gone the route of a lot of games where there is extra content you can buy into, and you could perhaps use that to your advantage or review some of that. So a lot of stuff you can do there. So there's a lot of positivity there. Typical advice, the thumbnails are incredibly busy. Kind of hard to tell what's going on. I can tell enough that it's football. And there's a couple arrows on some. I can tell you're trying to, especially the snowball fight one. I can't. The arrow is pointing to something. I have no idea. So I would maybe simplify your thumbnails a little bit. And one video in particular that really was interesting to me was the latest video at the top.
Save your coins.
Was that not it? Maybe I had this sorted by most popular.
Let's look see.
I confused myself.
Okay,
so it was a month ago. All right, so 2,000 views. And I wanted to point out a couple things here. So the thumbnail, I mean, still kind of hard. The image itself, kind of hard to see what's going on. But I can tell you're trying to show me something. Learn to stop him. And then you even have a playing card there. Like I'm guessing whichever player that is who we're learning how to stop. But your name, the channel name, is Incredibly Average Joe, as if you're leaning into the fact that, oh, I'm a very average gamer. And when I see that as a viewer, I kind of think, okay, so you're not really going to show me anything groundbreaking. You're just kind of playing games and having fun, which nothing wrong with that. But what I want to point out is that when you make a video where you're trying to show somebody something like, hey, you can stop this guy from rushing into the end zone. I'm going to show you how. You've just put yourself above average. You're teaching something. You're showing people something of value. So I don't know. This is a pivot for you. This is a branding pivot, but I might get away from calling yourself average, because the videos that people are going to search for are ones like that, where there's this thing in Madden I can't figure out. Does someone show me how to do it? Mm-hmm. And you want to be that person. Yeah,
maybe it was like a default channel name when it first started, and as you say now, if a creator is going to educate, and if you notice, all of the most popular videos on the channel are education in some way, like do this now, or best sniping methods, easiest way to get coins. Those are all stuff that people are searching for, and the answers provided seem to be generally good, because you're getting almost perfect like to dislikes on these. And yeah, right. I would say I would agree with you in the thumbnails, in the sense that it's one of those examples where the creator is probably trying to do too much with their thumbnails. And this here is one of the less complicated thumbnails, which means it's a bit easy to understand. So I'd say that if you're going to benchmark how complicated your thumbnail should be, this one here, the that one should be your most complicated one, and then the rest should be simpler, so that you're telling a much simpler story in your videos. An interesting question I wanted to ask you here, Dan, about, and I'm putting you on the spot here, and I don't know if there's a good answer to this, but we talk about gaming channels where they should try and stick to one game as much as possible. But there are occasionally games which are very season specific. FIFA, for example, NHL hockey, and Madden, where there's only a certain amount of time where the game's released and people are playing that game, and then maybe once the Super Bowl's done with, what does this channel maybe do in April, May time when it's completely off season? Are people still playing this game? Are we building up to the next game? What might you suggest there?
Yeah, when you say season, I was thinking, oh yeah, you just play until the next Madden comes out. But you mean like the actual season itself of football?
Yeah, I'm guessing interest is linked not only to when the game is released, but also the actual real life season.
Right. Well, one thing, and I've not seen a YouTube channel do this. I've seen this in podcasting, but you could take a break. Maybe use that time to, strategize a bit. It's literally your off season as well, because if you just want to cover Madden and people aren't really going to be searching as much throughout the summer months anyway, you could take that time to try different things. You could have a second channel that does a different game that you enjoy. Yeah. You could cover a different aspect of the sport, maybe a different sport altogether. I'm not sure. There's really no wrong answer or right answer to that, really. But
this creator did actually start their channel literally when the NFL season started. So they're going to have that challenging question coming up in like a month's time. I might answer that is that if there's any sort of news coming up for the latest Madden, although they've released every single year, how much exciting news can there be for a new Madden game? It might be just following the rumors, or you could maybe start to do like classic games or things like that. Or this may be an opportunity to just try something completely different during the off season and seeing where the audience is. I ask the question, but I don't know what the answer is. I sometimes do that, but it's a challenge for gamers. If anybody has this similar situation in their genre, whether it be gardening or whether it be tech or something where there's a clearly defined out of season area, how do you fill up that content? I would love to know what your thoughts are on that. Anyway, incredibly average show. I think we have to realize now with a channel that's been around for 3 months, and they're on a specific game, they're nearly up to 450, 500 subscribers, which I think is fantastic. So you're already doing some really good stuff there. Just good luck going forward, simplifying things a little bit and moderate education. And as Dan said, maybe it should be incredibly slightly above average Joe, although that's a really long username for us to say. We'll let you think about that, Joe. Moving on to Rob and Pete's Workshop. This channel has just over 50 subscribers, so congratulations on a milestone there. You've been going for 2 months as well, so new to YouTube. And you are getting views consistently above subscriber counts, which is fantastic to see. You've already got some custom thumbnails going on there, and there's a simplicity to them, which is good. Text, we're going to start asking the question, do you want the text in there? I'm not sure at this point. Just as an example, folks, they've got one thumbnail here with no text in there. Is that better than thumbnails with text in there? That might be a good way to look at things. The view counts seem to be a little lower, so that might suggest that text does work for you. What I would say, generally speaking, is that we want to see a much more zoomed in look of your thumbnails. Like this 18 karat gold one, engagement ring here, really make that almost full screen. Almost you could have like the middle stone covering almost a full screen, and like just some really nice lighting going on there to show it off. Might be a way forward. But I'm giving you tips and tricks and advice for a channel which would maybe already have hundreds of subscribers. I think you're already doing fantastic work for the size of your channel. And maybe a bit of theming might help. We're moving towards Valentine's Day in a couple of weeks. Dan, I've already got my present for you, but maybe if this channel is wanting to target particular markets at particular times of a year. Christmas would have been one, of course, as well. Or it might be like changing seasons. Like, is there any way that you can tie in jewelry and stuff there? That might be an idea. I did have a quick look at these videos as well, Dan, and it looks as if it's like a musical. Well, it's the process of making the jewelry with music in the background, but it's no commentary. So it's a kind of almost like ASMR for jewelry in like a loose sense of a word. I think that's an interesting format. Anything you spotted here about the channel, or are you just thinking about what Valentine's present I've got you?
I was just thinking about how I didn't get you and probably won't get you anything. If I'm being honest with myself.
That's all right. As long as you let me know, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's just who I am. I'm sorry, I'm a monster. Yeah, that was the big thing for me. Is it's jewelry, and that's something that you could definitely fill a whole thumbnail with. And other than that, I'm impressed by the views to subscriber ratio. I would say that keep up with your calls to action. If there's no commentary, then that would come in the form of text of some sort.
Yeah.
And click subscribe. And you want that towards the beginning of each video. But no, I think this is awesome. I think it's really unique too. I've never even considered the process of making jewelry. I've never considered it. Jewelry just is. So that's cool.
I think I'm just going to finish off this channel by saying, when you look at the thumbnails, are you reading the text or are you looking at the jewelry? And I think, for example, I know this video didn't do very well in terms of it not having any text, but this one here, would this be better suited if we got rid of, because it's one of these half and half thumbnails where I think you're showing a before and after, or halfway through the process and the final results. And I just want to see that when I'm scrolling through the search results or a subscription feed. So I think certainly more testing going on there. With all that being said, though, the channel is doing really well for its size. The fact that you've got every video is getting triple digits almost, and you have just 50 subscribers at this point. Again, we're on to the fourth confetti of joy here. I rarely give these out that often in channel audits, and for the first channel audits of the year, we've already done 4. So fantastic stuff going on here. Like this one down here. Given the size of that ring versus the engagement ring there, which one are you more likely to click on?
Right.
A question there to be asked. And I think, it's funny that this one's got more views, but it might be because of a titling structure and because it's an engagement ring. That might be more appealing to and more searchable. But I think, I might be wrong, Dan, if you disagree with me here, I think this is a better thumbnail, this bottom left-hand corner one.
I agree. I find myself in these thumbnails kind of trying to look around the text because there's some interesting stuff going on in these, and the text is kind of getting in my way as I'm trying to see what's going on. Like that handmade infinity pendant one, that arrow says all I needed to say. It's
and I think if the arrow was more subtle as well, and then get rid of all the text, I agree. Good point. But in the last 2 videos, the creator is also doing some completely new testing as well, like changing the almost like the color scheme of the thumbnails. I'm not a big fan of the new text in here. I have to be honest. I feel these look a bit more tacky versus what we've seen before. But we said at the start of this channel audits, test, and see what's going to work best for your audience. Let's move on to Cardman22. This channel has over 2,000 subscribers. Congratulations on that. Did I pick this one or did you, Dan? I'm trying to remember.
I think you did. I don't recognize this.
Yeah, okay. So I think this is a channel about AFL, Australian Football League. I think I've got the acronym correct there. And if you are currently watching Cardman22 in Australia, all the best for and thoughts and wishes, and hopefully everything is going to be okay over there. And credits for you to watching in the middle of the night, because I think in Australia we're often maligned for going live at about 3 a.m. in Australia. But you have this sports channel that you're covering here, which is what's going on in the sporting world of AFL. And considering you have 2,000 subscribers, you keep having these videos that break out beyond your audience base. So like 7,000 views there, and another one here with 3,000 views. So lots of good stuff going on here. I don't know much about this sport, I must confess. And what we've learned when we look at channels that are dedicated to sport is how you differentiate yourself is you become part of the story. And if you're following a particular team and you're going to particular matches, then you may do like a bit of a travel vlog and your reaction to how that match went. I'm not sure if you're particularly doing that in this channel, it must be said. It feels like you're more of a broader overview of this sport because you have videos here like the top 50 players and rankings and that type of thing. But I think you're doing generally well. And whenever you try and do these biggest, longest, or almost like listicle style format videos or educational wiki style videos, they seem to be doing really well for your channel. And when you were doing this predictor thing, those were really successful videos. I was wondering if you could almost turn that into a weekly thing. I assume these predictions were for the fifth season. Could you maybe do predictions for every week's contest? That might be an interesting series of videos going forward. And also just be aware that if you're going to do videos that are a bit of a departure from your regular content, like the Christmas vlog, and it looks like a year in review, that you may get less overall viewers, but it may be really valuable for your community. So be aware of that. Dan, I think I've tried to cover a lot there, and I assume your AFL knowledge is as lacking as mine, but is there any general stuff that you can see here on the channel that I may have missed?
No, I think you covered it. It's when we see thumbnails like this, it's hard not to talk about the text, but there's nothing wrong with it in this case. It's very easy to read. It helps add to some of these titles. Some of them are pretty similar to the titles, but I think it does add something, and it seems to be working just fine. So yeah, I would say this is a situation of, keep it up, keep trying things, and it looks like you might get together with your friends sometimes and do some things, which is pretty cool too. So seems like a good symbiosis here. I
like that word, symbiosis. I think that's a first for the channel audits.
The word of the day.
Symbiosis, folks. Google.
I have to wonder what that live stream was about.
Yeah, because you just don't know. It's like, is this just somebody decided, hey, it's Christmas Eve, I've got nothing to do, I'm going to do a live stream and chat with my fans? Or is it about the season so far in AFL? Yeah, I must confess, I used to do that where I would just say, I'm just going to do a live stream and see what happens, not really have a focus. But if it was a community one, that's fine. And I just noticed something here as well. I think a little bit of tweaking of the thumbnails could help. You're already doing some good things in that if you are using text, it's very easy to read, and it doesn't dominate. I mean, it does dominate the thumbnails a little bit, but the text is nice and big and easy to read. However, when I look at something like this one here, I think there's an opportunity to just refine what you're doing. Most annoying things at the footy. First of all, you might want to just make sure that we're talking about AFL, because footy might mean football in the UK, and potentially American football. I don't know if you use that terminology in the US. But which of these things here is the most annoying? Is it the $25 bottles of Coke? It might be, but I think it's probably the annoying fan that you often get in all sports. And I think if you just blew that image up onto the thumbnail and use nothing else, I think there's more of a focus there. There tends to be a reliance on... sorry, what was that, Dan?
Have him hold the $25 Coke in his hand.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can merge it like that. I think what people try to do is, when there's a listicle, it's like the 10 best whatevers, they try and include all of these things in the thumbnail, and it's probably best just to focus on one thing, because that makes a viewer go, oh, there's this one thing that I can see, but I've got to watch the video to find out all of the other things in this list. So maybe just a bit of tweaking there would help with the channel a little bit. But that is AFL. That is Carman22, and congratulations on 2,000 subscribers. I think already in I guess AFL doesn't really reach beyond Australia. I don't think it has a really global appeal per se. Maybe in New Zealand, I don't know, but I don't think it's really well followed outside of your country. So sticking to something that has a niche, small audience, I always give credit to channels who are doing that. Next one we're going to look at, I'm going to try and choose one that you selected here, Dan, and it is Movie Central. 2,500 subscribers here. And just as I look at the channel, first impressions, it looks like a movie review channel. But what is there beyond that? Have you spotted anything?
I was very perplexed by this channel. For one thing, they definitely have some subscribers and some views, but I'm sure you're seeing the little red numbers all over their videos that represent a very negative outlook. And
interesting.
I have to wonder if these videos are doing something to upset people. It could be simply just people disagreeing with your opinion. It could be a sheer amount of spoilers that were not expected when they clicked on movie review. And I did notice that, like, you have a Rise of Skywalker spoiler review. It's good to kind of note that. So yeah, just while I'm barfing out suggestions here, I would say that saying in every title like spoiler free or spoiler review is probably something to test, because that might be the only video where I see you mention spoilers at all. And that's always my first hesitation when watching any review for a movie I haven't seen yet is, have they just told me to go see it or not? Or are they going to spoil the whole thing for me?
Yeah. Good point.
Noticing emphasis on Disney. So that could be, except for the SpongeBob one there, that could be a good niche to kind of explore.
Yeah, it looks PG rated films, I would say. But yeah, there's also like a bit of a cartoony superhero slant there as well.
Yeah. I was also going to say that perhaps for movie review channels in general, this could be similar to gaming in that there's probably just a lot of competition. Movies are pretty accessible and they're fun to watch, and everyone kind of has their opinion. So I guess for Movie Central, I would just ask you to ask yourself, what is going to make my movie reviews different, or what kind of reviews can I do that really aren't being covered?
Oh, you beat me to it. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, it's like when you look at this channel, it's like, why should I value your opinion over a much larger, well-established movie review channel? What makes you different? Now, as you said, Dan, there seems to be a little bit of disagreement with the audience in some of the content. But yeah, am I gonna? And I know there's a bit of vanity metrics going on here, but if I'm gonna get a review, I want to get it from a trusted source, and I'm not sure if this channel yet has the social proof, or it has built a trust and reputation to have that audience. Now, I've also noticed some interesting things here as well, in that the channel has been around for 2 months. And if I sort by most popular, the most popular video has 500 views, and there's nothing else really above that. But yeah, you have 2,500 subscribers. So have you pivoted onto this new topic, and your channel was about something else previously, or is there something else going on there? I do have to ask that question a little bit. Also, a question that may need to be asked is, are your reviews including any of the content within the review itself? So there may be copyright issues that you may need to ask. This is very much a review type of channel, I think, so you may be able to argue the fair use case, which is perfectly fine, but it's something to think about if your channel starts to grow. And yeah, I think that you may have to niche down a little bit more. And what I kind of feel is that you're reviewing the movies that you like to watch, which is fine, but your tastes are not going to always completely align with somebody else's. So you may need to decide it's just going to be Star Wars stuff, or it's just going to be Disney animations, for example, or Disney live action. I think the About section really tells you where the channel needs to think a little bit more about focus, because they say, if you were into movies, well, everybody's into movies. I think you'll be hard. It'll be hard to find somebody who doesn't like movies of some kind. So I need to know more of why should I watch your content specifically. But having said that, the channel has been around for 2 months. They're getting views in the triple digits on most content, which is good to see. And you have 2,500 subscribers. Whether those are gained just through this content or something before, I don't know. But there seems to be some good stuff going on here. And you're also starting to use custom thumbnails a bit. Some are a little bit busy. I think when they're simplified, they tend to work better. So do keep that up. And I think we've said this to channels already today. Make 50 to 100 videos, find where your niche is in movie reviews, and then start to refine your content towards that audience in particular. We'll move on to VelociTy. And this channel is reactions, challenges, gaming, covers. So there's a lot of ands there to begin with, which makes me think that you may be trying to cover a bit too much on your channel. You do have 18,000 subscribers almost, though, so congratulations on the success you've had on your channel. Brilliant to see. However, we do see that maybe there is a disconnect between the people who've subscribed to your content and expecting a certain piece of content versus the views that you have on a lot of your videos, because there seems to be some spiky view counts going on where you may get like 1,000 to 2,000, which might be your benchmark for a channel of your size, but then occasionally you'll have these reaction videos that get 250 views, so well down on what you would normally expect. Also, what I'm seeing in your content is that we're seeing the people who are behind the videos, and it looks as if there is a group of people, and I'm starting to wonder whether or not the strength of your channel is you, your personalities, and how you are reacting to the content, rather than what you're watching, the animation or the film that's potentially coming up. So, for example, this one down here, stream highlights, there's something going on here, and you have a group of people down there, but I can't see really any of their reactions that's going on. I would maybe want to see these people blown up much more and seeing really bigger reactions on the videos. And also, this particular video interests me because what you've done here is you're trying to make something bigger than anyone else. So you're not just doing a reaction to one animation film, you're doing reactions to the top 50 anime openings. So that's something new and original that I don't think you're going to be able to find elsewhere on YouTube. So I think I've spoken about this before a little bit, where you're going to have certain talents and you need to try and find out what your talent is, and it might be that your content is better than anyone else's. That's really hard to do, and that's where you find the YouTube megastars. If you're not yet ready to be better than anyone else, maybe you can be faster than anyone else with your content to YouTube, or you can make your content bigger than anyone else's, where somebody's doing a reaction to one movie, you're doing 50, and that's how you differentiate your content. So I think more of this type of stuff may work for your channel. Dan, are you spotting anything else here? As I just sort by most popular, see if you can get some trending stuff there for VelociTy.
Yeah, let's see. 6 months ago. See, that's interesting. We can see the faces a lot more clearly of everybody involved.
Yeah, so that was 6 months ago, and then some videos from a long time ago where I think the thumbnails were really quite powerful. Like, it's an interesting way of doing stuff. And
looks like they're tutorial for guitar tabs, perhaps for different animes, songs from different animes.
Yeah, so look at this, like this second row here, where you can clearly see the people and their reactions. I think those are far more powerful thumbnails than the ones that you were doing earlier on. And yeah, I want to see more of these types of videos here and these thumbnails, because those were all doing really well. All of them type of videos and them thumbnails.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, this seems like a channel that kind of pivoted from music to doing reactions, reviews, and it seemed to work very well for them. And I would just be very proud of this channel. This is, there's a lot of stuff here. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out what potentially happened here in terms of they were getting views of 5 to 10,000 up until, so really healthy stuff generally speaking, a few duds here and there, but in the last month things have fallen off a cliff a little bit in terms of their metrics. So maybe there's something else going on here. Maybe the channel has been hit perhaps by, this could be an example of copper, for example. Maybe the content is, or YouTube's determined that this content is directed towards children a little bit because it has some animation in there. I don't know, it could be wrong, but I'm feeling as if the channel has been hit with something here and they're really struggling to find their way forward here. So it may be a little more complex than we can really help with. Yeah.
I don't know.
Go on.
Sorry, I don't know anything about like these shows. I'm not an anime person. Nothing wrong with it. Just not the kind of stuff I watch. But maybe a season of something ended, kind of like the football thing, and now you have kind of less to talk about for a little bit. Maybe, but that's sheer speculation. I don't really know.
But something definitely seems to have happened in the last month or two, which is not helping the channel. So I hope that if it is a YouTube algorithm type of problem, that's gonna require a bit of stress trying to work it out. But I also think that the thumbnails have degraded a little bit. I think they were far better. This selection of thumbnails was far better where you were big on screen with your actions versus where you've tried to use the anime characters a little more. I think you need to go back to where you were before. And yeah, just good luck. If you are having some YouTube problems, I hope that you can resolve them. Let's just see, is the community tab still there? Yeah, the community tab's still there. So that doesn't suggest that copper has affected them because they would have lost that.
Right.
So yeah, there's something going on, and I'm not sure really what the answer is there, and I hope we can find it out. All right, here we go. Another channel, 3,000 subscribers. Now I am nappy. Hair, DIY, styles, beauty. New videos every Tuesday. Congratulations on the success of your channel already. Let me just sort by newest, because I think I've sorted by most popular for some reason. There we go. Okay. What are we looking at here, Dan, for this channel?
This seems to be a channel focused specifically on hair, which is awesome because we've seen a lot of channels that are trying to say like, oh, I'm a beauty channel, and they try and do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So it seems like the groove has been found here, and overall, this was another example of a channel that I thought was just doing a lot of things right, just really well. The thumbnails are clear, easy to see. It took me a little bit to realize there was even text in them.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, my eye was kind of drawn to the subject, and as I was just kind of scrolling through, I'm like, oh, all these have text on them. So I would take that into account. I'm not sure if you notice that as well, but I mean, the text might not need to be there, maybe it's helping, but I didn't really even see it.
It's an example of where certainly this channel is trying their best to use text in a way that isn't too
intrusive, right?
Distracting, and so they have like this top banner, and I think it generally works okay. I think there is certainly potential to experiment without text, just to see what happens, because I think the thumbnails are pretty good. I like the fact that you're cutting yourself out of a background most of the time and putting a plain, vibrant color. That is a good way to look at things, and you're doing a lot of these half and halves. Like this is a good example here of where there's a problem, solution, but in the middle, you've got to click on the video to watch how to get that solution. So I think those are really good examples. And then the question is, do you need a text? And I don't know, maybe you do. Maybe that's just a nice little introduction, but maybe it's worth testing, seeing how that is different. Yeah, I would agree with you as well, Dan, that this is generally speaking a hair channel, and just make sure to stay on topic with that. And I think you had something else to say.
Yeah, it's funny you point out that particular video, because something else I noticed about this channel was those videos that kind of answer a question tend to do a lot better in terms of views than, say, the product review videos. And the product review videos seem to do just fine as well. But just something to keep in mind, there are questions being asked about your subject matter, and you might perhaps already be doing this, but just make sure that you're kind of going out and every so often, once in a while, back to the drawing board, figure out what else is being asked, And this goes for anybody in the subject that you're covering, because when you answer a question, people tend to come to that video, find you, discover you in the first place.
A way to potentially combine that then is to say how to prevent, how to fix, how to nourish, etc., etc. And then it might be with this product, or like, does this product work to fix this issue or whatever? In terms of answering questions, yeah, I think that's a good point. Let's sort by most popular, just see if there's any breakout videos where the channel could potentially double down. Because I think in terms of hair care, it can be evergreen content. So even if the video is pretty old, you might be able to return to this and have another go at it, since it should still be trendy. It should still have some value in it. Fenugreek seeds for faster hair growth. Interesting. That was your most successful video. Did you do a follow-up on this? I would suggest maybe doing maybe 2 or 3 videos on this topic, just to see if there's any traction in there, and if you could build up an authority. In fact, that sounds like a very keyword.
I gotta wonder.
I'm going to search for it and see what comes up, if I can spell it right. Fenugreek.
Do you think it was that product, or do you think it was faster hair growth that did it?
I don't know. Good question. Let's see.
Because if there's products that help with faster hair growth, you might be able to do a whole series on that.
That as well, yeah. So what I'm seeing here, there's a couple of examples here on the search terms where, like this channel here with 800 subscribers has a video with 22,000 views. So whenever I see that, I see there's like a window of opportunity. This channel here with 6,000 subscribers, almost 100,000 views on that video. Fantastic thumbnail, by the way. That's a beautiful thumbnail,
right?
Which really helps with the clickability. 4,000 subscribers, 750,000 views. So I know they're pretty old, but it maybe suggests there that there is potential in this topic to revisit it. Or as Dan said about, what was it, like the just faster hair growth as a broader topic, maybe in the different products you could potentially use.
Right. And you can determine that through YouTube, and just kind of figure out how people found that video, figure out what search terms that were being used there.
And a good example here of how text is used, but it's really effective. Like, day 1, there's a result. Wow, that's pretty incredible. I'm going to click on this to find out more. And it doesn't need the text. It doesn't need the text to tell you there's a problem here with somebody's scalp and it was fixed. How is it fixed? You've built the intrigue there, and that makes the video more clickable. No idea what we got into food now for some reason. So maybe fenugreek is also something you can eat. Interestingly, there you go. You can spread it on your head and on a piece of toast. Please don't take that advice from VidIQ.
It makes hair edible. Rob, 2020.
Disclaimer. All right, so now I'm nappy. Congratulations on the success of your channel. You've got some videos that are doing well, and I think just maybe revisiting them, creating mini-series out of those content, I think might be helpful to help you grow your channel, and maybe play about a little bit with a little less text on your thumbnails and see how that goes. Now, I think that brings to an end. Oh, no, I think we've got one more channel, actually. One more. That was True Biscuits that we did already select. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to quickly visit our live dashboard to see that we had 300 people watching, which is fantastic. Thank you very much. A couple of super chats here from Sparks Family TV. Thank you for the support as always. I think you've given us super chats before, Sparks Family TV. Do appreciate that. And El Planeta del Celcio, I hope I pronounced that somewhere correct, whether it's Spanish or Portuguese. And you've donated 2 PNEs. I don't even know what currency that is. Peru, maybe? But whatever they are, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. What we're going to do now is take a very quick break. And when we come back, we will be doing your random channel audit selections. Back in a minute. Oh, there's supposed to be a video playing at this point, folks, and it hasn't worked. So let's play a different video instead. Let's play this one.
Those that running a YouTube channel sometimes make you feel dazed and confused. Well, that's why you might need a little education. VidIQ can review your channel in seconds, 24 hours a day. It's like having our own YouTube consultant giving you all of this information. Do a YouTube search and we'll show you the stats, the value of that keyword, what's related, what's trending, what tags each video uses, and a deep dive with a single click. After research comes analysis. Our video scorecard will pick apart all the important analytics from social media to SEO, and we do this for every single video on YouTube for free. And when it comes to uploading your videos, VidIQ is here to support you every step of the way, with suggested keywords, our SEO score ranking, upload checklist, and recommended tags, boosting your content to the next level. Oh, and if you think we finished there, we haven't even started. We have dozens more tools we want to show you right now. All you need to do is download VidIQ now and let us help educate you on your YouTube journey today.
Welcome back to, pretty much half of the second hour. I was trying to do this on the hour, but I really failed, as I usually do. And somebody was actually making the heinous accusation that the only reason I put that advert on was to take a toilet break. That is not true. I'm just trying to remind myself to put in more ads and breaks in the live streams. But for some reason, the one that's set up just before the live stream didn't work, so I had to play an alternative one. What I wanted to just remind people is that not only do we have all of the tools that you just saw there, many reasons to upgrade to our Pro and Boost tools, we also now have a VidIQ Academy, which is included with all people who sign up to any of our tiered programs, and you get hours more content on how to grow your channel, including the 30-day starter guide, which we put a lot of time and effort into just before Christmas, to help you in 2020 grow your YouTube channels. Dan, how's it going this week for our channel audits? Do you reckon we're getting some good stuff coming in here from our community as always?
Yeah, I went through the list today and I was just blown away, because usually I'm looking at channels and there are more. I'm trying to find the nicest way to say this. More often than not, there are channels that I can go, okay, there's some work we can do here, and I want to give advice to these channels to these points. And I kept clicking through, and it's like, that channel's doing awesome. That channel's doing awesome.
Yeah, I was the same as well.
And I feel like we've done too many of these. And I mean, you and I, just VidIQ as a channel, I feel like maybe people have learned too much, and our job is done.
YouTube. Our job here is done. But it isn't, because we're going to carry on. And what do you think? Should we do another Twitter channel, or should we do randoms? Which do you reckon, Dan?
It's been a minute since we checked on Twitter.
Right, let's do another Twitter one then. So I just need to make sure that I press a button so Dan can see everything again. I need to refresh that screen, and then I need to go back to this screen on the channel audit. So thank you for all of the people who submitted on Twitter and shared our audits. When we get over 300 people watching our live stream, that means that you've shared our content, which is fantastic. And so here, we've got some more people who are now trying to get us to click on their channel. So I like this one. Maybe we should do it in the future by comedy. I think that's a much better way of doing things, actually. Some really good ones here. I still think that's the best one. I think. Yeah. I mean, it's because I'm a Star Wars fan.
It's very topical.
People can see with my backdrop here. I'm sorry. I think we're going to go for comedy. I like comedy, and we're going to audit this channel, which is Ghost Band. I promise we'll do one more we'll do one more randomly selected Twitter one after this. So if you still want to have a chance of being audited through Twitter, share our channel live stream and share your channel in the tweets and include hashtag channel audits. So Ghost Band, I don't think we've audited this channel before, and the reason I say that is because as soon as I look at it, I see the Fortnite channel banner, I see the Fortnite thumbnails, and I think this feels very similar to a lot of channels that we've already looked at, which is kind of a bit of it's kind of a bit of a criticism in the sense that we want to see something new and fresh, especially when we're in a really defined genre of Fortnite gaming. That being said, you've got nearly 400 subscribers, so you're already onto something. There's a few videos in triple digits here, like this one here. How to lag less in Fortnite Mobile. That's, again, giving solutions to things that people want to know in a game. Definitely do more of those educational tutorial contents. And I've done case studies before on channels that are dedicated to nothing more than how to improve frames per second on Fortnite, and they've got 100,000 subscribers. I know that sounds nuts, but some people, when they really niche down on a game and find where they can serve their audience best with the knowledge that they have, that's where they can really succeed. So I think, just as a first suggestion, it might be going through your Fortnite content already and seeing if there's any particular videos that are doing really well for your audience. That's what I've got to say about this, Dan. Anything as a gaming enthusiast to pick out here?
Well, it's just tough because Fortnite, Call of Duty, I saw there as well. These are games that, are free. Call of Duty Mobile's free, Fortnite's free, so you already set yourself up there for just an uphill battle. Is kind of how I'd like to put it. That said, like you've already mentioned, Rob, you did do something right. It looks like you are trying to answer questions. You are trying to do how-tos. That is a great strategy when playing a game that is just crazy popular. So if that continues to work for you, that's awesome. But I would. One of the things that I struggled with my channel was, I really like Minecraft, but I'm kind of wondering what, in terms of people that also like Minecraft, what else is out there, and what are they searching for that is similar to it? And Fortnite's been around for a while. You might look into games that people who like Fortnite also happen to enjoy, and maybe just are not as competitive. But that's me telling you to change your entire channel. That's in terms of just getting found. That would be where my mind goes. With that out of the way, though, it does look like you have some videos here that have done very well in the past. How to get custom crosshairs on
custom
Fortnite.
Crosshairs.
So simple.
Two of the three most popular videos are about custom crosshairs. Is there enough mileage in all the different custom crosshairs you can get? Like, imagine if you did a video that was 100 different Fortnite crosshairs. I know it sounds ridiculous when I say it, but you've got proven experience in this field, and there are millions of people watching Fortnite videos, and if 20,000 of them are interested in a specific crosshairs that you can get on Fortnite, you become the leader in that, and you could start to grow. Just test it. Give it a try and see what happens. And I think, good advice there from Dan about just the general gaming strategy. And if it's something, it is. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, it is very general. I hate to tell someone, hey, the game you're playing, that's going to be really tough. But it is also true. I still want to stress that have fun with your content. Don't play games simply for the point of getting discovered. But we are people who are here to tell you, hey, from what we've seen, these are ways you get discovered. So I just have to stress that.
Yeah, love that thumbnail as well, by the way. That's a really clear example of a thumbnail that works very well, and it's your most successful video. All right, that was another Twitter randomly selected channel. What we do now is we go to the complete random selection of channels. Here's how it works. The submission list is at a whopping 389 channels. So This is a struggle that we always have every single week, folks, is that we're massively oversubscribed. We audit maybe 10, 20, 30 channels a week. So we do apologize when we can't fit you all in. But I think, as people often say in the chat, just listen to what we say. A lot of it applies to all sorts of channels. And then you can start to work on it, even if we're not specifically talking about yours. We take this number of 389 and we put it into this thing here, which is our random number generator. I've gone for the classic today, which is the spinning machine type thing, which spits out a number. I take that number, I type it in here, and that should give me the channel URL of something that can be completely random. It's the first time we've seen it. It's the first time you've seen it. And when my computer works again, because it paused for a second there, Dan and I will try our best to try and work out what's going on here at Super Cyan Rainbow, if that's how I've pronounced your name correctly. And it looks to be a Dragon Ball type of channel. I don't know anything about this cartoon, I must say, and people are probably lambasting me now saying it's not a cartoon, it's an animation or something along those sorts of lines.
It's not a cartoon, it's a way of life.
Indeed. Now, my question to you is, I don't want to click into any one of these, but is this just clips from the show? Is there any reaction or commentary? I'm a little bit worried when I see that, because the thumbnails look fantastic, don't get me wrong, but they look as if they've just been picked from the show. So how much work are you putting into a channel? And I know that might be a huge criticism, and I may be getting this completely wrong, but that's just how I'm looking at it from first impressions. I don't know what AMV means either.
I don't know.
Something to do with music?
It's in every title, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's have a look at the About section. I just want to try and see if I can work out what the channel is. AMV? Yeah, so you do AMV videos. I don't know. Hey, LP people, do this. I approve of that.
Do this.
That is brilliant. Thank you very much for putting that in.
That's funny.
I'm tempted to click on one of these videos to find out what's going on.
I gotta know what AMV is.
I'm hesitant. Can somebody tell us in the chat? Oh, anime music video. There we go. Thank you. People are explaining what that is. So is this, you're taking a montage of existing content and putting music on it, or are you taking the musical elements from the video? What I'm trying to establish here is this transformative work? Are you adding something new or different to already existing content? And that's something that you've got to be really careful with on YouTube, especially if you start to grow. Now, if we put all of that behind us, what we may seem to see is that you've done a lot of videos in the last month. You seem to be a little flatline. The channel doesn't really seem to be growing in terms of views. It's been like just over 100, maybe a couple of hundred, a few hundred, and now we're down into the double digits. So whatever you're doing right now on the channel isn't necessarily working for your audience. I think maybe a different approach, different strategy may be required, and it might be that you start to commentate a little bit more or add more of your own personal experiences of this, as Dan calls it, way of life with Super Dragon Ball. I'm not sure, but for something right now isn't really working for the channel, so I think making some tough decisions might be in order. What are you thinking here, Dan? Just as
well, I mean, we did see an anime channel earlier in the day, and that channel had a lot of success reacting and reviewing different shows, perhaps episodes. I don't know if that's something you would be interested in doing, but it could be an avenue if you are thinking of a pivot. I know that's might not be super helpful if that's not something you're interested in doing, but yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that this strategy is encouraging as much growth as the creator would probably like it to.
Yeah, I just would expect, given the amount of content you've put out and the size of your subscriber base, you would be getting more views than you're getting now. So whether this content is too similar to someone else's and they can just get it elsewhere, or it's not done as well, I don't know. I think just being really objective as possible on the content that you have now may help you determine in the future if you just need to tweak your Dragon Ball content. But having said all of that, hi back to you. Thank you for saying that in the About section. And do something with the channel banner, because right now it doesn't tell me anything about your channel. Let's select a new channel. And this is going to be 236 now. Let's see what we have here. This is an art channel, it looks like here. And Dan, I'm going to let you lead on this one as a first impressions. What
I like the banner.
Have? Definitely very Sonic styly.
Speed paint. Okay.
Ooh.
Very interesting. So I was about to say, oh, these thumbnails kind of look similar, but I mean, that's just the art style. That is, it kind of tricked my eye for a second. I think on their own, just out there on YouTube. These probably are just fine. And in fact, putting speed paint that way in the thumbnail is probably good because I don't have to guess what I'm looking at. When it comes to art channels, you kind of sometimes have to guess.
I think we may have a bit of a disagreement here. And
you think so?
Comment on this in the live chat. I think this is custom artwork from I'm the Rabbits, and the artwork is phenomenal. It looks absolutely fantastic.
Right.
So why spoil it with speed paint? I think if you did want to tell with speed paint that's covering almost a third of the bottom half of the thumbnail, if you were really keen to tell people that this is like a time lapse or something, maybe a small icon or something in the bottom corner might do that. And you really explicitly tell people in the title as well. So I would be tempted to get rid of that or test it. Do you include that in everything? Yeah. So you've always gone with this speed paint thing. I would say test it without.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I will
counterpoint then. Counterpoint.
Yeah. My only counterpoint is that when we're talking about a very recognizable character like Sonic, and I just see a very well drawn picture of Sonic, and that's it. Obviously, the title will tell me what it is, which is great. But just scrolling through YouTube, I don't know what that is. You know, it's a picture of Sonic. There's nothing indicating that the picture is what the video's about.
Yeah.
So that's but as someone who's not an advocate for a ton of text and thumbnails, I'm also on your side of it. I think that at least try it without and see what happens, because maybe having it all caps as the first thing in the title already covered you.
Now, another slightly more radical way to do this is that you have like one of those half and half style thumbnails where you're halfway through the process of drawing one of these images and then like the full image to the right hand side or something like that. Because I guess one thing you might be doing here with the thumbnails, and this is getting into quite a bit of theory here, is that you may be showing the viewer far too much in the thumbnail, in that you're giving them the final product. So why do they need to click on it to see how you made it? Maybe like when you've got a half finished image that already looks good in a certain way, you got to click into it to view more. I'm so intrigued that I just want to click into one of these and just see what's going on. Okay, so there's your intro. Yeah, we'll get back to that in a minute. What I would do is I would get rid of that entire intro. I think you just get into this drawing aspect straight away, because this is where things are really interesting already in terms of people who watch this type of stuff. We don't often look at content here, but I just thought it was really interesting to look at this thing. And all right, I'm getting the idea of speed. I don't want to unmute it because I don't know if you've got commentary going on or anything like that. But yeah, I get what the video's about straight away, but I'm just thinking maybe it's better to have, let's see, I just want like half a completed image somewhere, which might be really handy. Or something that kind of hints at, like, I don't know, maybe something like that but half of it's not coloured in. I might be completely wrong about this, and I might be trying to get you to do too much with your thumbnails. But go for it, Dan. Go for it.
I was going to say, what you could do is take, once you have the image drawn, before any color hits the canvas, you could take a picture of that, finish it, take a picture of that, and then literally split it in half. So it's the same, it's one character, not two side by side, and you show the half-drawn character, or basically the uncolored character, and then, the finished colored version on the right side. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think we're just throwing you ideas here, because I think there's some real value in here. Like if this is all your own work, they are that is incredible. Like wow, unbelievable. But just one thing, this is not going to this is not going to protect you from copper. I'm not saying that your content is aimed towards under 13s anyway, but when we were interviewing an attorney, one of the good points he raised is that people are going to, if this content is aimed at people under the age of 13, they're not going to understand what this means anyway. They don't really have a concept of copper, especially people who are like for nursery rhyme and content that's for under 5-year-olds. But yeah, as a disclaimer, I wouldn't even bother putting this in because that's not going to protect you if there was a claim. And to be honest, I don't think this is. necessarily aim towards children because it's artwork of a very high standard from somebody who's obviously probably over the age of 13. But yeah, that's a topic probably for another 20 hours worth of live streams. But we've had some really interesting discussion there, I think. I was just going to say maybe if it's all Sonic artwork, which I think it is, Sonic fan art, I would be tempted to maybe be more explicit with a Sonic fan character or something that's a bit more searchable in your content. I'm just thinking here and there.
I wonder, have you tried fan art before? Because fan art is like its own entity in terms of being a search term. And I wonder, maybe it was too saturated.
Yeah, it's possible.
Let's see.
But the top result here only has 4,000 views.
Right.
And the one here with 500 subscribers, 25,000 views. So I think maybe trying to use that keyword as a search term may have some more value. I guess if you're going to include speed paint in the thumbnail, we've argued about this for the last 5 minutes. Do you need to include it in the title? Maybe it's better to have more keyword-rich titling in there. I think what I'm trying to say is let's first of all, Dan, let's give this channel a confetti of joy.
Oh yeah, of course.
It looks fantastic, and I feel as if this channel should be getting more views. So I think it's either the thumbnailing or the titling just needs to be structured a little better. And I would also say the Sonic movie is coming out very soon. Try and get out as much related fan art as you can to that, whether it's particular characters or events or things that are going on. Make sure that when the film goes live, you've got content for the next 2 or 3 weeks after it and before it, so that you're really hitting that keyword as well. I love these sorts of channels because it brings up debate. I don't think either Dan and I are wrong or whatever people are saying in the chat, but I think we all agree that this channel deserves more for how it looks on screen. Let's choose another channel. And let's see if this one has as much interesting debate to have. It's a vlogging channel. And it is... okay, this is LXG4N. One thing that Travis likes to say when he's doing channel audits is he likes the channel name to be memorable and something that you can recall like in an hour's time. I think this is a good example of a channel that I'm just not going to remember because it literally is 5 syllables that you have to say, and it seems a bit random. So, I mean, whether you want to change your channel name at this point, it might be a bit too early, and there may be a very specific reason why you've called yourself that. It also, just looking at the channel banner, the channel name, sub please, thank you, I'm not getting a vibe of what your channel's about at all. When I look at your thumbnails, I'm seeing a bit of BMX stuff going on there, quite a bit actually, so it feels like there's a BMX vibe to it. But it also looks like you're a younger YouTuber who's just trying to find their way and passion on YouTube. So don't stop doing that. Continue to make the content which you enjoy doing until you find an audience that likes your content. And with 70 subscribers, you have some videos that have got double digits and are doing quite well. And I think when you had a theme of BMX stuff, that did slightly better than other videos where, for example, you're only eating reduced food items. That sounds like a fun idea and concept, but if it's too much of a departure from your small audience right now, then maybe not that many people are going to watch it. I like the fact that a lot of your thumbnails are relying on no text, and I think we've had text-heavy thumbnails so far, and some of these are going in the right direction. Any thoughts here, Dan? New YouTuber, so we haven't got that much to go on, but yeah, what do you think?
Right. Yeah, like you said, I think this is a creator that's still kind of finding their way. That's my impression as well. 7 people riding bikes. There is a lot more scenery than there are people on bikes in that thumbnail. Like as an example of how it improved in some of these thumbnails, try to get just fill the frame out a little bit.
Mm.
You could have cropped right into the people on bikes, and it's kind of clear that what they're about to do. So, that would be one suggestion, one very specific suggestion. It looks like you do quite a bit with BMX, which could be really good. That could be what ends up being the thing that helps your channel get discovered.
It feels that way, doesn't it? Yeah, it feels as if that is your strongest. We talk about this sometimes, like, what is your superpower? What do you do? What do you do well, and what do your friends and family tell you do well? And if BMXing is something that you're really passionate about, and given your age, which is a younger YouTuber, this could turn into a story over years of how you develop these skills. So yeah, I think that is. It feels like that is kind of like your niche, but you're also experimenting with other stuff as well, which is great to see. Channel name, though, I'm not a big fan of. I might change that pretty soonish. But yeah, good luck with your channel there, LXG4N. I'm going to move on to another channel now, which is 343. We seem to be in the high end of channels right now. This is a gaming one, Dan, so I'm going to let you lead on this.
Subscribe!
Subscribe. All right, let's do that. What have we got?
Well, let's see. Why should I subscribe to S from Game? Let's see. So it looks like you make, is that Fortnite or is it Call of Duty? Could be PUBG. Oh, I see Call of Duty in the title, PUBG Mobile. All right, so we're playing some of the more popular first-person shooters. The view count, you have 11 subscribers. Let's see, videos from weeks ago. Is your channel brand new?
Let's see. No, we've been around for a year, 2 years.
Couple years?
Okay. I think they keep leaving YouTube and then coming back and throwing on a ton of content, and then maybe taking them. But maybe this is school dictated, whereby you can only do content during the holidays. So if that is going to be the case, you probably want to stagger and schedule the content a little bit if you can. That is really hard to do with gaming content now. It's like you made something, it's probably trending now. You don't want to leave it for a couple of weeks. I admit that is a challenge.
Right. I think like anything when it comes to a new gaming channel, I would definitely improve upon the thumbnails a bit. They're kind of busy. They look like the ones YouTube kind of picks for you in some cases, not all, but in some cases, just the ones you didn't make ones, so YouTube's like, here's one. And you can certainly leave it that way, but I think it's a lot more impactful to have one, of course. And it also looks like I'm seeing some other languages.
Yeah, I think it's Hindi, given that thumbnail here at the top.
I see. Okay. So that could almost be a strength if your content focuses on, just being in that particular language.
This is one of these areas that we struggle a little bit with, Travis and I, when we've audited Indian channels in the past, because I think there's multiple languages there. Like it's sort of English is always there, but then there's like regional differences. But a lot of people can speak both languages, so they tend to mix and juggle the languages quite regularly, and that's something that sometimes a nuance that we don't always follow quite correctly. But yeah, I mean, there's some titles in, we think, Hindi, and then some in English, and it looks as if, the view counts are so low at the moment that it's difficult to really gauge where you might be looking to have some success. So I'm thinking this channel needs to maybe just take a big step back and say, maybe I should, classic advice as always, maybe stick to one game for a bit of a series, rather than going from Battle Royale to PUBG to then going back to Call of Duty, and then just seeing where we can make an impact. But it's, as we've said already, Dan, you've said this quite well, it can be an uphill struggle, especially when you're a smaller channel. Is there some unique opportunity you have being a gamer in India? Because I don't think we've ever seen an Indian gamer looking at these first-person shooters. Is there something new and valuable that you can offer to your particular audience? That's somewhere where I might be looking to investigate. And of course, watching Dan's video on how to start a gaming channel as well. Don't forget that one.
I think for looking at the titles of this channel, all the titles on the videos, to me, it just looks like the same exact wording I would see in the game itself when picking game modes. Sometimes I don't think enough thought has been put into them because they're not going to be searchable.
Right. Okay.
Battle Royale on Call of Duty Mobile. It got 4 views, and it just. What about Battle Royale and Call of Duty Mobile? I guess would be my question. What is this video? What's this video going to show me? Is it top 10 headshots? Is it, a glitch you found?
Yeah.
When you're a new gaming channel, it's important to be focused on things that are going to get you discovered. And you can make videos like the one you've made where it's probably just you playing the game. That's fine. That engages a current audience. It's always good to reach outside the box a little bit and figure out what is going to be searched. There are some views. I do forget you were in a different tab. There are some views on some older videos.
Yeah, a little bit. One here that Battle Royale on Call of Duty, that seemed to do okay with 600 views.
So that would be I
think we've exhausted what we usually say with gaming channels where we're just starting out and we're not getting any traction. So yeah, good luck, S from Game, going forward with your channel. We'll move on to channel 330. Seems to be getting a lot of 300 channels in the 300s here. Just Drive Me. It looks like we've got a car channel now. Did we start with a car channel today? I think we did. Just Drive in.
The painting channel.
Got here. Over 300 subscribers. I'm going to guess your channel's about Porsche, but I might be wrong. I've already seen some Mercedes and some Ferraris in the thumbnails. All right. So what I would be saying straight away here is try not to take or try to make the thumbnails have a lot more vibrancy and punch. All these ones in a parking lot, they're just losing their richness in color and design. And when we look at this one here, which has 3,000 views, is a beautiful shot here. I'm wondering if that's like a shot that you may be taken from elsewhere. But trying to improve the quality of your thumbnails is really going to help. And let's see, is it a review of cars, or is it a certain thing that's happening on each of these cars? It looks as if it's luxury cars as well, so that's kind of a niche that you're heading towards.
I will say,
yeah, go ahead.
Should you buy a Lamborghini Gallardo? That's a very specific niche.
Yeah, maybe you should do like a 500 videos before that on how to earn the money to afford to buy. I'm sorry, I'm joking a little bit there, but yeah, it's a particular niche. I don't think there's anything too wrong with that if you find the right audience. But I guess if your audience is luxury and style and those types of elements, do the thumbnails represent that? I think in most of these they don't, because they look a little grainy and muddy and dark. So you have to have that sort of style and quality in the thumbnails. Like, I feel that is these ones when they're outdoors and they have like an interesting backdrop are much better thumbnails, as generally speaking. Now, let's see. I just want to see what he says. Okay, the first Bahrainian-based car journalist on social media. All right. That's cool. Brilliant. Are you? If that is a unique selling point, are you bringing that into your thumbnails? Because right now, just as I look at the channel, I would see that you're competing with all of the other luxury car channels on YouTube. So I don't know if it means that you potentially have a different language you can use, or driving around in your country, in your city, is something that's important. And the fact that you have access to these luxury cars is incredible. I think we just need to see more as a potential viewer to say, yeah, I'm going to click on this one. Even though the channel's relatively small, there's something different and unique that you could offer me with the content.
Random example.
Yep.
When I think of van life channels, The videos I like watching from van life channels the most are the ones that give me a tour of the van.
Right. Okay.
I like those the most out of the whole channel. So and I'll end up watching that, and YouTube will start recommending videos that tour like a dealership that or a maybe not even a dealership, but like a shop that fabricates, travel vans like that. Suddenly I'm watching all their videos because they just keep giving me tour after tour of like inside. So anyway, my point is perhaps you could do more with one car. Perhaps you can whatever it is you're doing now, reviewing the car, but the review may include a tour of the inside of the interior of the car, but you can almost break that up. Take one car and then do 3 or 4 videos on it. Kind of do one where you're driving the car and look how fast it goes from 0 to 60. Do one that's just showing the inside, like a tour of the Lamborghini Gallardo.
And each of the thumbnails would want to represent. Yeah, that's the hour I wanted to use. So if you're looking at the Hurricane Lamborghini and maybe you're doing a speed test, it might focus on like the speedometer on that particular one, whereas a tour around it would have one of the doors open in a because most Lamborghinis have wacky doors, or some of them do, or the door open, or it's like you're welcoming the viewer to come inside the car and take a look, rather than it looks as if you're taking one image, not necessarily a good one in each of them, and then you've just replicated it on the thumbnails. I feel as if we're giving this channel a lot of criticism, which maybe we're 2 hours into auditing now, and our attitude changes a little bit.
It's our blood sugar.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
There are rare occasions when you do get lots of views. So again, just going through the videos that are more popular and finding out why they're so successful.
Supercars crash fails.
Yeah. And then
people like seeing expensive stuff broken.
Who doesn't?
I'm just thought I'd throw it out there.
500 videos on how to earn the money, a video on how to buy it, and then a video on how to crash it in a most spectacular way. That is a channel right there. Somebody wants to do that. But yeah, I think generally these thumbnails, the top ones for the most viewed ones, are the better looking ones, I would say. Like, those are beautiful thumbnails.
Yeah,
that is a really good one. I know the video didn't get quite as many views, but I really like the style of that thumbnail, and that's where I want to be working towards, as opposed to these ones where it feels as if there's not much thought or effort gone into them, and the viewers will pick that out and they'll spot that if there's alternatives where they can get better. All right, I think we got time for maybe one more quick audit. Let's see. I'm going to bring this one up. This is going to be the best channel of the day, Dan. I guarantee it.
We're doing it.
This is the
best
highlight
channel, 2020,
and it is. HBTV, over 2,000 subscribers, got lots of Fortnite stuff on the top.
I like this.
The streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe.
Is it just a streaming channel? Oh, look at that.
Oh, all right. You need to update that because it doesn't look as if you're doing Fortnite stuff anymore. It looks as if you're doing Hypixel, Skyblock, whatever game that is.
Skyblock is a genre, is a way to play Minecraft. You aren't just a little block in the sky.
Tell me what these games are about, because I just say the name and I have no clue what it's about.
Hypixel is a server that is very, very popular.
Yeah.
So you can make content within that server. You are a live streaming channel. You've pivoted to Minecraft, and like Rob said, definitely update your banner. Maybe you still do Fortnite once in a while, but include, because it kind of threw us for a loop, for sure. I appreciate that you do live streams and you make thumbnails for those live streams.
They're all live streams. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That is one of the cases where repeating a thumbnail might not be so bad, because typically live streams, you're not making them to get found over a long period of time. You stream and then you're done. You know what I mean? As someone who streams, I never worry about, is someone going to come back and watch my 9 hours of content? That's okay if they don't. So that being said, it's good because your thumbnails that you are using are very nice, in my opinion. I think they're very clickable, especially like Minecraft, an arrow pointing at a wolf, and it says the word Slayer. You're killing wolves. That's not cool, and people are going to watch, So those are my initial thoughts. I'm always very interested when it comes to live stream channels.
I guess my question is, creator, are you ever not going to do live streaming content? If it's always live streaming content, I would hope that maybe you have a presence on Twitch as well, because YouTube just might not be the place where you're going to grow. There's this one video here which is 3 minutes long, which has a similar amount of views to all of your live stream stuff. So maybe there's opportunities to cut out highlights from the streams and put them into short form content.
Yeah,
or like the 10-minute highlight of these streams, because it's such a commitment. And I think are you live streaming almost every day?
It looks like it, huh?
I have been pretty much. I just like a question is, who's your target audience? And if your target audience is children of a certain age. Oh, just 1 second. That was my phone going off. If it's children of a certain age, then do they have the time to invest 9 hours in a live stream? I don't know if anyone's got time to invest 9 hours into a live stream, to be honest. So you may just want to cut down your content a little bit. Maybe think a bit more strategically. You're obviously very passionate about sharing your content on YouTube. I think you just need to be a bit more strategic with your content and how an audience sees it.
I think for a channel like this that typically does live streams, one thing, and you kind of touched on it, I would kind of suggest is maybe not only cut out fun moments and stuff like that, but when you stream, you're kind of tailoring yourself to a different part of YouTube and a different audience. And with a YouTube channel, you have an opportunity to hit both. So you could make streams in Minecraft, and as you're streaming. This is going to be like hyper-specific examples, so I'm really sorry. As you're streaming, if somebody asks a question about Minecraft, maybe keep a notepad next to you and write it down, because what you're going to do then is make a video tomorrow about that question, and you're going to answer it in a 3 to 5 minute video that's going to get searched, and therefore more people will be coming to your live streams because now you've been subscribed to by more people. Because I noticed in your numbers, we're pretty consistent in just the, between 200 and 500 views on every stream. You want that to grow, maybe not just streaming is the answer. Maybe some extra content sprinkled in there.
And that is your gaming knowledge bomb from Dan to wrap up this live stream. I hope this time that the music isn't too loud. Do let me know if it is. As always, folks, we apologise if we didn't have a chance to audit your channel this week. I know a lot of people are saying, is that it? Did I not get reviewed? Unfortunately, not this week. Let me be honest. 434 people have submitted their channels today, and we would love to audit all of them if we possibly could. I think next week we may be able to offer you something of interest. If you are really serious about growing your channel, I think Travis may be able to explain that one a little bit more when he is back. But in the meantime, you have been watching the VidIQ live stream, Channel Audits, where we educate you on your YouTube journey. So people are saying the music is too loud again. All right. So this must be because something is updated in my program. Right, let me just fix that. I'm going to do a live fix here of this music. There we go. What about now? Really tone down the music now, so hopefully that shouldn't be too loud as you are listening here. Folks, if you want me to shout out your name during the end, we will do that. And I have just remembered, Dan, that we forgot to do another Twitter random selection. I do really apologise for that, and we'll do one. We'll do an extra one next week, or I'll try and look at one that was submitted at the end of today and do it next week potentially. In the meantime, the Ohana Abroad, Little Miss Keefe, Spartan Joystick, Slav Guard, Brendan Walters, who I think said they were in BC, Canada. I'm in Vancouver, by the way. Samuel V. Cyberclip Gaming gets a shout out. Dom Dre Swizd, I think is the best way I'm going to pronounce your name. It's Exploring with Riley Figa. The Artist in Heaven, thank you as always for moderating. And yes, if you want to carry on the conversation, we are on Discord now, and I keep saying this every single week, but we promise to do a better job with Discord and make it more structured and more of a community in the near future. And Dan, I am done speaking, so who else are we saying goodbye to?
And on Discord, just so you know, because I'm in there a lot, we're not going to review your channel on Discord. It's asked all the time. So anyway, goodbye to everybody. The following people, and only the following people. Hold on, I can't see any names. Stop it. Clash Gaming, Ghost Band, Mid Subs, Arena something, it's gone. Mad Gamers, Little Crafty Nook. Did you know? It's just moving so fast, man. Why did you not warn me?
We just have so many people, and it's
Disney
so
Boffins. I like that name. It's fun to say. Sherm, Fish Grill, Fishing Grills.
That's a channel name.
A33 gone. You need to shorten your name. Brendan Walters, Dr. Shadow something, VidShot, Solve FM, L Taken.
So for next week, folks, what I want you to do, I want you to either shorten your channel names to 2 syllables, or make them at really the end long. Of the channel name, it's either something or gone, so that we can say, Mr. Riley, gone. I love something. Please do alter your channel names to better serve us as we do shoutouts. As always, folks, time is the most important, valuable currency on YouTube, and you are making your audience spend that time with you. Repay them with as much value as you can every single week. We will be back next week to audit more of your channels. In the meantime, do like this channel audit if you enjoyed it. Share it with at least one video creator who may find it useful. And Dan, do you have any ending catchphrases to say goodbye with?
We won't review your channel on Discord.
And enjoy the rest of your video making day. Bye for now. Awkward thumbs up waving to make sure that YouTube catches the last bit of a live stream until I press stop live, because it always chops off the last 30 seconds.